Welcome, Shaya, to our new podcast, Growth Through Positivity. Thank you for coming on and being a guest. Shaya, tell us a little bit about yourself, as well as your first and last name. People should get to know you, and what is it that you do?
Thank you, Ellie, for hosting this podcast. As you continue to do great things for everybody, it's been a pleasure knowing you since the beginning, and I'm really excited for what you have in store for us here and in the future. My name
Thank
is
you.
Shaya Adler. My company is Eagle Production Company, as well as our secondary brand that we just launched called Eagle AV Rental, which if you follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram, you already saw some of that. But I'm sure we'll elaborate on that as we go on.
Yes, so let's go straight to the next question. What made you start this company?
What made me start this company? For me, it's a little bit of an interesting story. Like for most people, mine had a unique beginning. I basically started renting out a speaker that was in my parents' garage that my uncle left there, and it was all by accident. And it just grew from there. I had a passion for not really music, but in the music industry as a young teenager, and it just expanded from there. I was in yeshiva all the years, so I couldn't really pursue it till after I got married and came back from Eretz Yisrael. But once I came back, I started pursuing a sound career. So I used to do sound systems for weddings and smaller events, providing the equipment, being the live sound engineer. And over time, it expanded to what it is today.
Beautiful, beautiful. So let's touch on that a little bit real quick. Where is it today in the sense of give us a little bit of a better understanding? Who's your target market? Who's your audience as far as client base? And where do you see yourself in 3 years with a lot of Sefet Shmaya?
That's a very loaded question. So where we are now really starts where we came from. We came from a humble beginning of, one speaker and one mic, one small job here, one small job there. And we bring that along to everything that we do. We're very, very much about not getting ahead of ourselves and not just staying focused and staying in our lane. But Baruch Hashem, over the time, we expanded and elaborated, and we're now a nice sized production house recognized in our region and across a lot of America. We have a team of almost 40 people now, and we have some of the top of the line inventory, resources, tracking systems, and softwares to accommodate pretty large size events. Most of what we're doing right now is we're providing technology services and rentals to events of 500 people or more, primarily business events, conferences. We provide a lot of TED Talk style shows. So if you have a main ballroom, conference center with breakout rooms, we'll be providing all the audio, video, lighting, the big LED screens, broadcasting for streaming, layering, graphics, electrical needs, rigging. All that goes into the scope of work that we do. On the consumer side, we do some high-end weddings and some private, non-for-profit stuff. But that's the primary area that we cover. For the goals that we have, we're slowly expanding into the arena space. So we're providing services for some rock and roll and festival stuff in the arena size shows of 30,000 people and up. So that's where we're headed in the next few years.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I want to touch on something that you mentioned, and today it's a little bit more common, and people recognize that, you could just start a business from your garage, and yours did physically start from the garage and having one speaker. But I want to touch on a point where it comes from a real, true inner passion in regards to having this vision and getting on what you call staying in the lane and staying on track to getting to where you want to get to. And interesting, you mentioned that you're starting this new rental. So I want people to recognize that it's following that passion, remembering that passion of what it is that got you into it, and let God and the Irish to pave your way and then just run down that lane because it's pretty well paved for you. So tell us a little bit about the next journey that you're embarking.
So as much as I would like to hide it, I'm definitely guilty of trying out other things along the way. A lot of business owners who have a passion and a lot of energy find themselves double guessing themselves, trying to go down different paths at times, doing different things. And I'm not here to give anybody advice, but I've been down that road, and it's very important to stay focused. At the same time, if you do have the energy and the ability to expand within your current market. So the way it played out for us, we were, a sound production company. We kept buying equipment to service our clients, and we found ourselves with a lot of equipment that other people wanted, as well as with an abundance of equipment at certain times of the year when our specific clientele wasn't busy. And we came up with this concept to basically create a rental market where other companies, it's primarily designed for other companies who are either bigger or smaller than us that carry similar products that just need more of it. And initially when we started working on it, we were like, it'll be, just an extra little touch. But over time, it's in the last few months specifically, we made some incredible relationships, and it's proving to be a very, very successful model. What anyone else could take from it as a business owner is if you stay in your lane and you find another part in the same space that you can expand on, it may work. There's what to work with.
Okay, very good. So you touched on a little bit. People know me today as an EOS implementer. That's a new journey for myself that I'm heading to a life journey and a career. So you touched on the point as a visionary, and we help people recognize what are their uniquenesses and strengths and what's the importance of the visionary and the integrator. So for some, it's the CEO and the COO. So I liked how you touched on that. Let me ask you as follows. Share with the audience a challenge that you overcame, that it was a piece of your focus maybe, and it gave you clarity, but it was a hard ride. It was challenging.
The main two challenges in our business is, and I'll be specific to my business because that's what I know best, is financing and people. I know almost every business struggles with good people. In my industry, good people is everything. We run very long days. We service all over the country, and we need people who can really handle pressure and be very skilled and be able to do multiple different things. Finding good people is a very big stress. How we overcame that, we didn't fully overcome it. It's a constant struggle, but it very much helps when they feel appreciated. They feel like there's communication across the company. I think most smaller companies struggle terribly with communication. Figuring out how to communicate from the top all the way down, and everyone should understand their responsibilities, their duties, and what's expected of them, and how they'll be compensated. So that's one small element of it. We could do a whole show on that itself.
Just that, and core values and culture and retention and everything like that. Sure,
but that it really helps, and every company on a small level can do some of these things to make it easier and better for their people, so they can make it easier to bring on more people and maintain the people that they have. Another huge thing is finances. I'm not sure how other companies run their finances and funding, but we don't have any investors in my company. We don't have any partners, and we're very investment heavy. The equipment we have, we do between $2 and $4 million a year in purchasing, and figuring out how to balance that, how to know how much to finance, how much to put up in cash, what the payback over time. That's a huge calculation for us. We didn't fully overcome that either, but we figured out through software and the proper tools to have a proper reporting to figure out how much each piece of equipment brings in and what it sells for over time, which helped us figure out how much to spend on certain things. But a lot of companies just, they work out of the whim and, let's add another crew, let's add another warehouse, let's add another thing. That can end up trapping you down the line.
Excellent. I love that point that you brought out. We in EOS teach the 6 key components in the sense of the data driven. So you should understand what are the metrics, what are your measurables, from the sense of understanding what's driving your business and how do you forecast and understand how to plan so that you're extremely successful. Okay. Excellent. Very good. I love everything you said. So to wrap this up, how do people get in touch with you? Leave us some of your contact information and we'll wrap it up.
It's very easy to reach me. Our company information is available on Google, Facebook, Instagram, Yahoo, Twitter, LinkedIn, pretty much anywhere online, as well as we have our facilities in New Jersey and in Miami. Anyone that wants to reach me directly can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name is Shaya Adler. My company is Eagle Production Co. or Eagle AV Rental. You can have both of those. Our office number is 732-833-2453. I'm usually very responsive on all platforms. Within 24 to 48 hours, you'll probably be able to get a hold of me, or at least one of my good people. I have good people, remember we spoke about that. And if anybody's looking to partner with us or potentially get a job with us or team up with us on a project, I have one of my lead HR people, Robin. Robin at eagleproductionco.com that you can reach out to and send her an email, and she'll get back to you with whatever you ask for.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have you on again. There's a lot more and great topics that we could share with our audience. Again, to be part of this podcast, please DM us right here on LinkedIn to request to be added to the list, and we'll have you on. Shaya, thank you for being a part of our mission to spread positivity and help young entrepreneurs grow their business right here on LinkedIn. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Ellie. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.